Wake up, rise and shine. It's a brand new day with Mona News. It's time to have your say. She's got the scoop, the stories, all the latest trends. Mo's got the news, let's hear it. My dear friends, from politics to showbiz, no story's too small. Mo covers it all. She's got the inside call, her voice so smooth, like honey in the summer sun. With Mo on the mic, you know the news is always fun. Mornings with Mo, the best newsy news in the world. With her style so classic and her stories unfurled, from morning till night, she's got us in the know. Turn on your radio, let Mo's newsy news flow.
Good morning, everyone. It is the 5th of July. I hope everyone was safe, and all the doggos and kiddos and people that just don't generally like banging loud noises till late at night. We all survived, and we can have a full weekend of barbecues or, well, it looks like thunderstorms here, but I mean, we all survived. Thank you, Wolfram, for doing the mod stuff. Thank you, Cynthia Fire Fairy, for coming on over. Poor Shizzy, he lost power. Good morning, Marlena Mars. Good morning, everyone. We have got so many new things. Good morning, DK Cripple. Oh, I'm so sorry. It never is easier with the knowledge that you know that you're letting your good friend not live in pain. That's a very cold comfort when you're losing one of your best friends. So I am so sorry, DK Cripple. Good morning, little sister, Brenda, and everyone. So we have breaking news out of New York, and I feel like this seems to be kind of a common occurrence here lately. I do know that I source a lot from the New York Post, but oh my goodness, this family, my heart goes out to them. Good morning, Fun Diane. A boy 8 years old was murdered. Parents were stabbed by the knife-wielding brother, who was unfortunately, shuffled off this mortal coil by police officers in what can only be called a nightmare. I mean, that's an understatement. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. But, sometimes we have to make those hard choices for our friends, and it doesn't make it any easier. Hopefully, the staff at your veterinary clinic will be just as great as the staff was at mine. And, it will make at least a hard situation easier to know that you have sympathetic people with you. Good morning, Squid Pro Quo. So a knife-wielding maniac was taken out by the police Thursday after he attacked his 8-year-old brother and stabbed both of his parents in a Queens apartment. The 8-year-old unfortunately passed away. The police were called to an extremely small unit inside 147th and 25th 94th Avenue in Jamaica just before 5:30 p.m. after the bleeding mother ran outside pleading for her life, according to NYPD Chief John Schell. Inside, officers found the 20-year-old perpetrator holding his father in a headlock over the kitchen sink with the sharp implement, very close to his throat. They unfortunately had to, save the father by taking out the son. And just horrific tragedy for this family. I can't imagine what went on. There are some more pictures in the article. They are not too graphic, but just YouTube would have a problem with them. Starting next week, I'm going to try to link all of my articles in my description so you guys can go in and see if you want maybe further details or, just to look at it yourself. They gave repeated commands both in English and Spanish for him to drop the knife. He didn't, so unfortunately that gentleman also lost his life. The family of 4 was rushed to the hospital, where unfortunately the young boy passed away, and the older brother passed away because he was, taken out by cops. The mother was 39 and the father was 43, and they were also treated for their wounds. An 8-month infant who was also in the home was left unhurt, thank God. Police are still trying to work out what happened in this, if they were fighting, if they were brothers, what's going on. But it's just a horrific case, and I hope that they get really good investigators working on it. Apparently, don't whip water balloons at Danny Trejo. He will try to find you, even if you're at a 4th of July party or parade. I'm just saying. Also, I wouldn't throw anything at Danny Trejo, but that's just me. Actor Danny Trejo fights quote unquote coward who allegedly hurled a water balloon at him during the 4th of July parade. I'm just saying, maybe don't whiff water balloons at people. Don't mess with machete. Actor Danny Trejo punched a 4th of July party parade goer who allegedly threw a water balloon at the Machete Stars vintage convertible. Oh yeah, you don't get in front of a man in his car, especially if it's vintage. And why would you go up against Machete? I mean, we have all seen the mariachi for reasons that probably for some people include Antonio Banderas a little less than me, but I I would not get on this man's bad side. I don't think so. The Southern California beatdown happened during Thursday's Independence Day parade at LA's neighborhood Sunland and Tajunga, according to ABC Los Angeles. Well, there you go. The 80-year-old actor was stopped along the parade route in his baby blue convertible when a water balloon was launched at the windshield. Video obtained by the outlet shows Trejo, dressed in a long-sleeve white shirt and black pants, jumped out of the classic car and threw a punch at the man who was suspected of throwing a water balloon. I mean, FAFO, but if you go, there are a couple of peoples I wouldn't, cross. Danny Trejo, Chuck Norris, and Robert Stack, but that's I'm just saying, you don't mess with certain people, even if they are from Hollywood. Now, people I would mess with, Steven Seagal, Kevin Spacey, but mostly to put him in a rocket to the sun. And oh gosh, I'm going to have to say Kristen Stewart, just because she has absolutely one expression, and she shouldn't be an actress. I would just encourage her to maybe try physics or something. However, the Spy Kids actor's punch missed the man donning a tank top and backward hat, and Trejo is pushed to the pavement. Oh, we do not knock Danny Trejo down. It was not immediately known who else was inside Trejo's car, but the video showed 2 small children being pulled away from the vehicle. A large brawl then exploded between the suspect and others who joined the crowd. The alleged water balloon hurler hurled several punches at a second man before others pounced on him as the scuffle moved onto the sidewalk where spectators were set up to watch the parade. In the video, Trejo is seen getting up from the ground, grabbing a green foldable chair and tossing it into the rambunctious brawlers. I'm gonna need to go to the LA parade next year. A woman then rushes up behind the actor and holds him back while others come to help restrain him. During the madness, parade goers can be heard pleading with the actor and brawlers to stop because there's children around. The melee, which lasted about 30 seconds, was eventually broken up by bystanders. Police say they've received a report about the fight along the parade route, but the crowd dispersed when officers arrived, according to TMZ. No one was arrested. Trejo told TMZ that the water balloon being chucked at his Corvette was childish and that people that threw it at him were cowards. The outlet reported that those accused of throwing the water balloons were around 30 years old. Again, this is a face of a guy I'm not going to whiff a water balloon at, okay? And he could be the nicest person in the entire world. This face, again, he could be Saint, Trejo of Los Angeles. I'm not going to whiff a water balloon at this guy. I feel like I have self-preservation instincts that other people don't. I'm just saying, y'all, that's not who I am not whiffing water balloons at this guy. It seems like a bad idea for some reason. The 80-year-old actor said he was not hurt during the altercation. The fight comes just days after Los Angeles native announced the death of his 16-year-old Chihuahua, Nick Dixie. Okay, so he lost his bestest friend, and this guy whiffed a water balloon at him. Well, I mean, you mess with the Trejo, you get the machete. I'm just saying. FAFO, do not try. You guys, Audio Coffee is a subscriber to the channel and is usually with us. She has her own channel, so give her a look and, subscribe. Oh, wow. Maybe he can teach me how to do a winged eyeliner. Look, I seem to lack the gene of femaleness that helps me understand makeup. So sir, I would both never whip a water balloon at you, and I'm very sad that your dog passed away because, yeah, could you please help me with my makeup? Also, I would never whiff a water balloon at you again. Trejo, who has spoken openly about his past addictions and his time locked up in the notoriously dangerous San Quentin State Prison, became sober in 1968 and was released from prison the following year before starting his decades-long acting career. Since landing his first acting role in 1985's Runaway Train, Trejo has appeared in over 400 movies and television shows, according to the actor's MDB page. I mean, y'all, it's getting to the point where I might actively go to Sephora and try, to get a makeup lesson, although that place scares me. See, I have weird social anxiety, not like normal, like getting up in front of a crowd, pretending, totally I could do that. Sitting in a store as people put on makeup while people look at you like you're a zoo animal, I that's the kind of stuff that I'm like, "You know what? I'm okay. I just won't do a winged eyeliner." Yeah, no. I have already said I am odd. My mom's like, "I don't understand why this is a big deal to you." And I was like, "Look, I am sitting in the middle of a mall, and I can feel everyone watching me even though I'm not that important." And she's like, "I don't get you." In, kind of serious news, and I did wanna give you guys who are in Southern Indiana, not Southern Indiana, for the love of all that is Cheetos, Mo. The southern states, maybe a warning. I'm sure you guys don't come to me for meteorological news because, that requires math. But, just a heads up that Hurricane Beryl is nearing Mexico, and it is a very big storm. It has done really big damage. So, the hurricane caused devastations in part of the Windward Islands and is blamed for at least 9 deaths as it approaches the Yucatan Peninsula. Now, they are projecting that it might go towards Texas. So, if you are in any of the areas, where this could be affected, uh, take care of yourself, make sure you have all the things. I am sure that since you live down there, you probably know what you're doing, and if you don't, I am sure that local forecasters, newsy guys will tell you all the things you need to have. I just want you to be safe because this is looking like a monster storm. Hurricane Beryl is set to make landfall on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula early Friday, bringing damaging winds and a storm surge of up to 6 feet, life-threatening surfs, rip currents, and all of that. The National Hurricane Center said Beryl had weakened from a Category 3 to a strong Category 2 early Friday, but warned that it carried a serious widespread risk. Preparations to protect life and property should be rushed to completion. The hurricane is already blamed in 9 deaths in Venezuela, Jamaica, and the Wayward Islands. So I know that this looks like it's going towards Mexico from what I have been reading and things, but I am not a meteorologist kind of person. I'm only me. As of 3 a.m. Eastern Time, Beryl was 77 miles west of the Yucatan Peninsula. The Civil Protection Department in Yucatan said the peninsula is under a hurricane warning and the storm is due to emerge in the Gulf of Mexico by Friday night. Let's see where it gets to Texas because I thought that it was supposed to go there. Okay, so also if you are a tourist in Mexico, don't forget, same things apply. Get all your things to going, but just be aware that Hurricane Beryl is as formidable an opponent as Queen Beryl was in Sailor Moon. And to the one person that got that, thank you so much. I feel seen. Um, this is out of my general neck of the woods, but a former NFL player and their wife have been arrested after their son was found at a religious compound. So this has been somewhat of a big deal here in Sailor Moon, only the thing that I nerd out on all the time and spend, Mr. Mo isn't here, but a good chunk of money on, not to his knowledge. Besides, it's on sale. It's a cartoon I used to watch. The missing 14-year-old son of former Indianapolis Colts lineman Daniel Murr has been found safely on Wednesday after state police SWAT teams entered his family home at a religious compound. Bryson Murr appeared to be safe and well and was released into the care of Cass County Child Services, according to a press release from the state police. Welcome, Bush McFadden and Captain Kern. Good morning. Bryson had been considered missing and endangered since last month after his grandmother told Child Services she believed he was the victim of domestic battery by his father, according to previous reports from the Huffington Post. Authorities had been unable to locate the teen after his grandmother made the report. There are some photos out there. I will let you guys look those up on your own discretion, but they are some pretty sad photos. And of course, the parents are considered innocent until they are found guilty. But if they did this to the son, Snake Island. Let's see here. Upon finding Bryson, authorities took his parents, Kristen Murr, 38, and Daniel Murr, 40, into custody on the primary charge of obstruction of justice. Daniel Murr also faces an additional charge of DV, according to the press release. Quote, his face was battered. When I got him, he had a black eye and a busted lip, Cheryl Bryson's mother told Fox affiliate WXIN of the teen's condition last month when she decided to alert authorities. Wright told Bryson was brainwashed into his parents' lifestyle on a religious compound in Logansport, Indiana. Although Bryson had not been seen since June 16th, police issued a silver alert for him on June 28th after his parents backed out of a plan to bring their son to authorities. A WXIN news crew visited the Murr's property following Bryson's disappearance and reported a sign for Straightway Truth Ministries. The Tennessee-based organization is led by Pastor Charles Dowell and has 12 branches across the U.S. and Canada, according to the website. Daniel Murr is listed as a pastor of the Indiana branch. The organization has been described as a cult and has drawn several former NFL players as members, according to an investigation by Sports Illustrated. In a YouTube video posted after the arrest, Dowell spoke in front of a wall hung with camouflage gear and scary pew-pews. In an attempt to cast doubt on the media reporting on the case, he said the authorities entered the property with battering rams and a bearcat during morning prayers and compared the incident to the raid in Waco, Texas, in which authorities laid siege to the Branch Davidian cult. I will definitely have to look more into this because a cult in my own backyard and I didn't know. But all joking aside, I hope that this little boy is safe where he is. So, and, is able to get the help that he needs to kind of deal with all of the things that he's had to go through allegedly. And if it's not true, then I hope that the family all gets justice, but it does seem like there is some kind of shenanigans going on. So I will look into Straightway Truth Ministries because a cult in my own backyard. No one was injured during this week's raid in Indiana, according to the state police. Sergeant Stephen Glass told XYN that the operation was quote-unquote peaceful because police came into contact with the Murrs immediately during the search. Anything of this nature, we had to be well prepared going into the unknown. So I will definitely look into that because I've kind of stayed away from this case until it came to a bit of a conclusion because I did want to give you guys more facts than just, splashy headline, I don't know nothing. Unfortunately, 6 people were injured in carnival rides at a 4th of July celebration in Washington state. Again, y'all, I am just telling you, but if amusement rides are assembled by carnies, I don't trust them. Now, this is a personal life choice that I've made, but, I mean, those traveling carnivals with those rides scare the living bejesus out of me, so I'm just saying that's a personal life rule is that we do not get on rides assembled by carnies. And if you are a carny, I am sorry that I am disparaging your engineering uh, degrees. 6 people were injured Wednesday night when a ride at an Independence Day carnival in Washington state tipped over, officials said. The city of Oak Harbor, about 90 miles north of Seattle, said in a Facebook statement Wednesday that 6 people sustained minor injuries and were treated on site. Maggie Aguilar, a city spokesperson, said she did not know how many people were on the ride, which she said is known as the swings. She said it had passed state and city inspections and that an issue with the ride's setup had caused it to tip over. The city said that the ride was promptly secured and shut down and that the carnival was closed for the rest of the evening. Images posted to the Oak Harbor, let's see if we can get that. Ta-da! No, I don't. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that doesn't look like it's a bad thing at all. I don't want to log in or show you my Facebook account. Anywho, Mayor Ronnie Wright said Thursday that the carnival had been shut down for the rest of the holiday weekend. Ensuring the safety of our residents and visitors is our top priority, Wright said in a statement. After careful deliberation and consultation with law enforcement and city officials, it became that it was the best course for action to protect our community. The city said it would work closely with the vendor to conduct through inspections Thursday to determine what caused the ride to tip over and to prevent any future incidents. We're committed to ensuring the safety and well-being of our residents and visitors. So there you go. They're going to There you go. Look, I'm not trying to be a butt, but no carny, no carny rides for me. Uh, his haul wasn't as great as he would have imagined, but a suspect was busted for a 1-cent bank robbery. Uh, I mean, with this face, who wouldn't give this guy all the pennies in the world? Those are some Manson lamps. They're seeing directly into my soul and the wall behind me. After a man handed a bank teller note demanding cash, police swooped down on Chase Branch in Florida and arrested the unarmed suspect for robbery. The amount he allegedly sought, 1 cent. So what the media article is saying is that Straightway Truth Ministries has been called a cult. So I want to dig into that a little bit deeper because I don't want to throw that around when it's not true and it came from the media. But I will look into it since it's an Indiana related story. But I was just writing it down to see if to remind myself to look it up. According to an arrest report, Michael Patrick Fleming, 41, walked into the bank, filed a withdrawal slip, and handed it to the teller. The defendant was told he would not be given 00.01. The police noted. After being denied a penny, Fleming, who does not have a Chase account, reportedly told the teller, "So you want me to say the other word?" The teller was in fear of possible violence imminent and was notifying law enforcement. Police responded to the 911 call, and Fleming was still inside the bank. He was taken into custody and transported to the Sumter County Sheriff's Office, where he agreed to be interviewed by investigators. Fleming said he initially went to Citizens First Bank, which was closed, before driving to nearby Chase Bank. After confirming the bank's employee's account of the episode, he said most of the time, the way tellers are trained, if someone comes up to rob you, you give them the money and let them go. Fleming claimed that he expected the teller to give him the penny, adding he would have then sat in a chair and waited for law enforcement, advising that his goal was to be arrested. The plan worked to perfection, and Fleming was collared on felony robbery. He's locked up in lieu of a $5,000 bond, according to jail records. It is unclear why Fleming, who does not appear to have a criminal record, wanted to be busted. Until recently, Fleming resided in a mobile home in Summerfield, a Central Florida community about 10 miles away from the Chase branch. He was evicted from a residence in May, though, for failure to pay his $900 month-to-month rent. So, Florida. Who is Wade Wilson? I did not get very into this case, so I figured, hey, maybe there's so many cases, and sometimes it's a bit hard to keep up with all of them. So I figured we'd do a little, what is this guy doing and why is he Deadpool? Wade Wilson was convicted of murdering two women in June 2024, and his smug demeanor through the trial caused the case to go viral. The attention the case has gotten has caused people to wonder about Wilson and the details surrounding his case. Who is the Deadpool killer, Wade Wilson? Wilson shares his name with the Marvel superhero Deadpool, from Fort Myers, Florida. He has several tattoos on his face, including, well, symbols from that weird Austrian painter, vegetarian, that we all have to compare everyone to lately. And other tattoos that might be objectionable to members of the potential jury pool. So he was allowed to wear, face makeup and cover as many of his tattoos as he was able to. He would like to appear presentable to the jury deciding his innocence or guilt. So the judge did grant that motion. Now, while the judge granted the motion, Wilson seems to have forgone the option throughout the trial. He was seen with all his face tattoos, but he wore street clothes as opposed to a jumpsuit provided by the jail. Wilson is accused of murdering Kristen Melton and Dana Ruiz in Cape Coral, Florida, in October 2019. Melton's body was found inside her home on October 7th, 2019. That same day, Ruiz was reported missing after she vanished while walking to work. 3 days later, on October 10th, 2019, Ruiz's body was discovered in a field behind Sam's Club. Both women were strangled to death. In November 2019, Wilson, who was already being held in custody for an unrelated battery charge, was indicted on multiple charges, including two counts of first-degree murder. Shortly after receiving new charges, Wilson contacted Fox 4 News about the allegations. "I did not commit those murders and I am innocent," the Florida native told the outlet in 2019. Throughout his time in jail, Wilson continued to contact the news station and said he used to be connected to a high-level human trafficking ring and that he would groom women for them. However, when he tried to leave the ring last year, the group framed him for these murders as a punishment. Really? Really, really, sir? So you're saying MI6, the AAA, the Kroger Saving Club, and all of the nefarious, shadowy underworld came to, I don't know, like, just assassinate your character? Sir, come on now. Nothing says wise decisions like, Mr. Hankety Clankety symbol on your forehead. Uh, While awaiting trial, Wilson and his cellmate, Joseph Katz, tried to escape the Lee County Corps facility where they were being held overnight in October 2020. Fox 4 News reported that Wilson and Katz managed to break the window in their cell to attempt escape, but they were caught by the authorities. The actions led to 2 new charges of attempted escape and criminal mischief to be added to his record. Wilson's trial began on June 10th, 2024. The jury heard from friends and family members of Ruiz and Melton, as well as former forensic psychologists. It only took the jury 13 days to find Wilson guilty for both counts of first degree murder, and they recommended that he be sentenced to death. However, the judge presiding in the case will have final say, and Wilson's sentencing is scheduled for July 23rd, 2024. So I am sorry for the families of the women who lost their lives so tragically and needlessly. Now, these two need Lord Chippy, and I thought I was going to use Lord Chippy in the other segment, but these two, Lord Chippy, because I can't, y'all. I can't. What is up with these teachers? School employees and reported, quote, ride or die besties in each other's weddings accused of SAing students. Georgia school district employees each face serious charges of illicit SA with male students following their indictments last week in Gordon County, but the story gets much worse from there. Brooklyn Schuler, one of Rayleigh Greason's bridesmaid, the latter's website on October 2023's wedding shows, and Greason was reportedly Schuler's maid of honor in November 2022. Schuler's wedding website hasn't been taken down since, but the New York Post reported that Greason described her there as her ride or die best friend. Both women were reportedly 23 or close to that in age. All reports have identified Schuler and Greason as ex-Calhoun City School District employees, raising some questions about what their exact roles in the school system and at which schools and what times, and whether they resigned from their jobs or were fired. The Calhoun Times says that Schuler was most recently a fourth grade teacher at Red Bud Elementary School, but the time period for the alleged offenses was between October 2021 and January 2022, prior to both of their weddings. The report said that Greason and Schuler are each out on bond after being accused of, quote, just gross conduct with male students, just gross. And Greason is facing 2 counts, while Schuler is facing 1. Under Georgia law, a conviction for first-degree improper sexual conduct by an employee or agent is generally punishable by at least 1 year behind bars, with as many as 25 years in prison. But if the alleged victims are under the age of 16, legal peril substantially ratchets up to at least 10 years or up to 30. There's a caveat, though. If at the time of the offense, the victim was at least 14 years old, but less than 21 years of age, and the person is 21 years of age or younger, it is no more than 48 months older than, and is no more than 48 months older than the victim, the person shall be guilty of a misdemeanor and shall not be subjected to the sentencing and punishment provisions of Code Section 17-10-6.2. It is not immediately clear how old the alleged victims are or how old the defendants were at the time between October 21 and January 2022. Okay, regardless of their ages, they need to be sent to Snake Island. I didn't think that this was a yes or no. I didn't realize that we could mathematically engineer abuse. In sad news, comedian Tony Knight is dead at 54 following a tragic accident. Comedian Tony Knight has died following a terrible accident. Knight was tragically killed in June while attending Rock and Cars Festival in Laveur, France, a family member told Fox News Digital. Quote, he was only 54 and having the time of his life, they shared. He was fit, happy, and healthy, had everything going for him. He was charismatic, funny, passionate, and so very loved by his partner, Haley, his family, and his friends all over the world. According to French media reports, a large tree branch fell on top of Knight and several others at the festival, although he was the only one not to survive. In addition to being a comedian, Knight was known with his work with dogs as the dog listener. His website describes Knight as having helped thousands of dog owners all over the world solve the problem with dog behavior with simple techniques that use no force, pain, domination, drugs, or gadgets. Thank you so much, Tim Swope. Through that work, Knight appeared on several television and radio shows. So I am very sad for him. I mean, what a great thing making people and their doggos work better with each other. And hopefully, sounds like it was just a freak accident. And then unfortunately, he didn't survive. So I hope everyone is giving his family a lot of support because no one expects that to happen, just out of the blue. And what an absolute heartbreaking shock. Apparently, America is not the only place with really wacky politics. We have to be wacky with suggestive poses and pets. Election campaigning test Tokyo's patience. So even people in Japan hate politicians. It's a universal world thing that we should all unite around. Tokyo elects a new governor this weekend, but residents say personal publicity stunts have overtaken serious campaigning and to a degree never seen before, with a nearly nude woman in suggestive poses, pets, an AI character, and a man practicing his golf swing. It's impossible to ignore with internet campaigning still relatively new, candidates traditionally used designated election billboards, more than 14,000 of them, to promote themselves. The makeshift billboards are set up only during the short campaign season and valuable space for exposure in a city already crammed with advertising. But this year's wackiness, notably from non candidates renting the billboard space, is proving exceptional. The residents have flooded election offices with angry phone calls and messages. Quote, they are very distasteful. As a Japanese citizen, I feel embarrassed. As I see many foreign visitors pass by those billboards, they must wonder what's going on, said Mayumi Noda, a office worker. As a voter, I think it's outrageous and disrespectful to the other candidates who are seriously competing. The record 56 candidates, including incumbent Governor Yuriko Koike, who seeks her four-year term, are running in Sunday's election. Many of the candidates are fringe figures or influencers seeking even more exposure. Tokyo, a city of 13.5 million, has an outsized political and cultural power in Japan. Its budget equals some nations, just spending, and its policies impact the entire national government. Hours after official campaigning began on June 20th, residents faced a stunning array of posters. For some, it's not even clear whether the person behind it is a candidate or simply seeking exposure. One billboard features racy posters for adult entertainment shop. Another had an almost naked female model in a suggestive pose with a message that said, "Stop restricting free speech." Others show photos of a pet dog or a female kickboxer. One candidate, called Al Mayer, used an image of a metallic humanoid. Campaign video clips are also drawing criticism. One shows female candidate Aria Ukchino saying, "I'm so cute, please watch my campaign broadcast," and repeating her name in a high-pitched anime-style voice while asking voters to be friends on social media. Then she strips down to a beige-colored tube top. I'm just saying, I don't want to see any of our senators in a beige-colored tube top, so don't you even think about it, Nancy. I mean, look, if you do, I'm going to send it to Mr. Mo, so, pick your poison, Nancy. In another video, a male candidate who represents what he likes to call a golf party talks about his policies while occasionally practicing his golf swing. Under a 1950 public office election law, candidates in Japan are free to say anything as long as they don't support another candidate or carry obviously false or libelous content. This year's escalation is partly linked to an emergency conservative political party that has fielded 24 candidates for governor, or an emerging, conservative. Since each of the election billboards come across Tokyo has 48 squares for candidates to paste their posters, the party is renting out half of the slots to anyone who pays, including non-political candidates. This kind of unexpected approach isn't regulated. The rental cost starts at about $25,000 or 25,000 yen, or about $155 per location per day, said party leader Takashi Takebana. We have to be wacky or we don't get media attention, Takabana said in a YouTube comment posted it to the party website. The point is to make immoral and outrageous actions to get attention, said Ryoshi Nishida, a Nihon University professor and expert in politics and media. The reason why some people find these performances amusing is because they think their objections are not taken in consideration by politicians and existing parties or reflected in their politics. So there you go. Anime mayor for Japan, apparently. A macaroni penguin hatches in a Tennessee aquarium, and now that I know that these things exist, I would like a macaroni penguin, please. Look how cute it is. It's little happy feet. The Tennessee Aquarium announced the hatching of an impossibly cute macaroni penguin chick at the Penguins Rock Gallery. The aquarium said the chick's parents, Bacon and Merlin, attended the egg laid in April, and the new baby hatched in June 2nd. Let's see here. It seems like it has a little type A personality. Aw, I feel seen. Assistant curator of Forest Laura Beth Lee said in a news release, it cracked the egg perfectly, sat straight down in the middle, or straight down the middle. Well, of course, you have to keep it centered. I don't know why this is shocking to anyone. We've never really seen that. The aquarium posted a video to social media showing the insane speed at which the chick has been growing since hatching. So you guys will not be able to hear sound, but we should be able to see how big this little guy got. Aw, he's hiding. Aw. Now I want a penguin, damn it. Mr. Mo is like, you're not getting a penguin. Never. Aw. That's it. I'm going to have to get a penguin somehow. That's it. Valhalla and I will be joining forces to make a kangaroo and penguin sanctuary in Tennessee. I think that's just what we're going to do. I know, and mini cows. Oh my gosh, mini cows and mini horses. I'm just going to have a very small petting zoo of mini animals. Speaking of mini animals, I vote no on this. I vote no. I vote no. And good morning, Flux. Exotic animals from South America have been spotted roaming around Colorado wilderness. Look, that looks like a mutant deer, horse, rabbit, and we know how I feel about deer. A mutant deer, horse, rabbit thing. This cannot stand. We cannot do it. Mo cannot survive a mutant rabbit deer hybrid. We just can't. There is a furry fugitive on the loose. Wildlife officials are trying to capture an adorable rat-like rodent native to South America spotted frolicking in the Colorado mountains. The exotic Patagonian mara, a teeny 2 to 3 foot tall critter, has been seen by park rangers, hikers, and visitors in Bear Creek Lake Park in Lakewood, Colorado, about 15 miles outside of downtown Denver, officials told 9 News. They are a larger species of rodent, even though they've got ears that are pretty long, looking like a rabbit, and legs that look almost like a deer, Denver Zoo animal care specialist Kat Emanuel told the outlet. Colorado Park and wildlife officers are now trying to trap the furry little fiend and find it a new home, but they have been unsuccessful thus far. Patagonian maras are long-eared, hoof-legged rodents covered in a coat of stiff, dense, very fine gray-brown fur with a patch of white on the center of their body and a tint of orange around their flanks and head, according to the National Zoo. They are primarily found in grasslands and bushlands in central and southern Argentina. The animal falls under the nearly threatened category under wildlife conservation statutes and can live approximately 14 years in human care. The officials believe the rodent ran away from someone's house and is used to being around people given the number of park goers who have spotted the little guy roaming in the wilderness. Yeah, again, Knowing my youngest, most feral, he'd wanna bring it home. It could be concerning, that kind of behavior. He's probably not used to keeping an eye out for a lot of dangers in his environment if this is the case. Emily Insacalo, senior director at Animal Care for Denver Zoo, said Colorado Parks and Wildlife officers have set live traps around the area using a combination of fruits and vegetables since the Amara is an herbivore, the outlet reported. CPW spokesperson Kara Von House hopes the traps will lure the furry creature in so they can find the Mara a more sheltered life here in the US. We don't know because we don't know anything about the animal itself, Insulaco said, and we don't know its temperament. The main thing would be to get it somewhere safe and make sure it's healthy, and then we can go from there. Officials have asked the public to keep an eye out for the little guy, but if seen, do not approach the animal, feed it, or try to take a picture with it. So you know exactly what's going to happen the next time someone sees this thing. They are going to go over and try to give it a hug and take a selfie. It's Jamie's favorite font day. We must all send MLS emails and Comic Sans to celebrate the day. I am just kidding. He hates Comic Sans. Do so at your own safety. Do not listen to me for any life advice. But there you go. So if you want a jack-a-rabbit darn like deer thing, you could probably adopt it if they ever found it. Now, no, that was not a meteor, that was SpaceX. Suspected meteor over the Carolinas was actually a SpaceX rocket. An object in the early morning sky over North and South Carolina was initially expected to be a meteor, but was later identified as something more terrestrial in origin. The object, which many witnesses compared to a large comet, was spotted over the Carolinas and part of Georgia about 5 a.m. on Wednesday and was caught on camera by multiple witnesses. Some witnesses suspected the object to be a meteor or a UFO, but it was later identified as SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. The rocket was launched at 4:55 a.m. from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida and was carrying 20 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit. So, well, I'd rather go with the UFO thing. I just still generally think that, the Earth is the part of the galactic neighborhood where you lock your doors and you roll through stops, is all I'm guessing. Um, in this was never on my y'all, this story done broke my bingo card. I have no idea. 2024, you inglorious, insane, crazy bastard. What the hell? Jackass star Steve-O reveals that he's going to get breast implants. I have no words, y'all. This is a real headline. I kid you not. I, I as an expert in having sweater puppies, sweetie, I'd go with a small B before you figure out if you can handle a D. Just telling you. Steve-O is taking his love for pain-inducing pranks to a shocking next level. While appearing on Wednesday's episode of the X5 podcast, the Jackass star, 50 years old, revealed he planned to go under the knife for a breast augmentation for an upcoming comedy act. Quote, I came up with the idea a few years ago to get a boob job and just film a bunch of really legitimately funny hitting video camera pranks with me in disguise in various disguises, then revealing who I actually am. They have fake boobs out there. They have fake bras. They really do. Now, here's the problem, and this is not look, this is what you end up with if you have big old sweater puppies, okay? You end up with a little divot in your shoulder. So choose wisely, Steve-O. Choose wisely. I don't again, they have bras and prosthetics for these things. I have no idea what the heck is going on here. The stuntman added, I've also been particularly in love with the idea because the opportunity for comedy, I believe is absolutely there. And it's quintessential Steve-O, the level of commitment. Hey, T. Shaw, good morning. I just, I mean, again, Steve-O, who is gearing up for his upcoming Gone Too Far tour, said he's already spoken to medical professionals and booked his appointment for the procedure. He specified he will undergo the cosmetic surgery during the interview, but the date is censored. I spoke to the doctors and I said to them candidly, the one thing I'm really freaked out about and bummed out about is that would be back to back and would back out of this over is that if I'm just going to be a mess afterwards. The reality star born Stephen Gilchrist Glover went on to clarify that he's only going to have the augmentation for a maximum of 2 months, then they're coming out. Well, I okay. The doctors were completely unfazed. Like 2 months, it comes out, absolutely no issue, the star added. A full recovery from breast augmentation usually takes about 6 to 8 weeks, according to the American Society of Plastic Surgeon, but some people may begin to feel normal about 1 week post surgery. Steve-O, forget getting implants. I will donate all of mine to yours. We can switch just for funsies. I'm okay with it. Uh, Talk to your surgeons. I will have my people talk to your people. I will donate for the love of all that is holy. The comedian explained that he's already set the bar for his pranks so effing high that now he has to push things too far to raise it. In the spirit of gone too far, getting a boob job, nuclear mode, he said. All kinds of people are just going to effing hate on it like crazy, and so many people are going to know about it. I'm just kind of looking at it like a numbers game. Elsewhere in the interview, Steve-O spoke about other body modifications he's undergone during the years. I've always been a body modification guy, like with my whole back tattoo and my butt piercing. He has a butt piercing. I feel like I shouldn't ask this question, but I want to ask this question. What exactly, like, are we talking cheek or are we talking, well, the between bits? How does one get a butt piercing? I I don't want to Google this. I can't Google this. I need what, where, when, how. I can't, y'all. I have no idea. It's been my lane and in my art from the beginning at this level, and this level of commitment to this bit, I how nuts it is. I believe in it. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Steve-O joked in a Wednesday Instagram post that he said way more in this interview than I should have, but F it, he said alongside a clip from the show. My life is about to get properly crazy. Steve-O had previously joked about his interest in undergoing breast augmentation surgery. There's some straight curiosity that as a heterosexual man who identifies as male, does getting a boob job mean I can't post pictures on Instagram with my shirt off? He asked Dr. Mike on an October 2022 interview. Well, you guys, I have no words. 2024, you have broken me. Steve-O's getting double D's. Oh my God. When was that meteor supposed to come through here? I'm asking for a friend who doesn't want to see Steve-O's knockers. Oh my God. I can't. Well, in at least a fear that we can take care of, alligators just are lurking under Publix shopping carts in South Carolina. I 5 more minutes and then I'm done. A Publix in South Carolina received an unexpected shopper in the form of an alligator that was found under a group of carts outside the supermarket. The gator was spotted near the entrance of the grocery store before officials with the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources were called to the scene. The video recorded of the reptile shows a hurdle of shopping carts and a yellow caution tape to block the area where the alligator was hiding. Yeah, no, I'm good with no alligator ever being where I need to. Let me see. I'm trying to. What city was that? It just says a Publix in South Carolina. It does not say a city, unless it's. One of our employees responded and saw that the alligator had a pellet in its head, and that apparently it had been shot with a pellet gun. An CDNR official wrote in an email to Fox News Digital. A wildlife contractor successfully removed the gator from the area. After being treated for its wound, the gator was released into state waters. If you see an alligator, stay alert, aware, and don't approach it. The fact that we have to say things like this means that some people don't, because every 5 weeks I do a story about Florida man finding, a baby gator he's decided to raise like Lyle the crocodile in his, basement. Feeding alligators is illegal and can result in the animals that then, associating people with food and food as people. So there you go, which increases the likelihood of negative interactions. Oh, good. They made a cart, boundary, because I'm sure that'll stop an alligator. Alligators will open their mouths and hiss and move forward about a foot or two if they feel particularly threatened. This is called a bluff lunge. Alligators are more mobile during mating season, which can increase the likelihood of encountering one inland or in a new area. Alligators eat everything from small frogs, snakes, turtles, birds, fish, mammals like raccoons and possums, and even occasionally deer. Yeah. No, I don't. I feel like, well, there you go. There's the news. I'm still somewhat horrified and weirded out by Steve-O getting boobs, but it's 2024. I mean, the year started out with young Hasidic gentlemen rising from the sewers in New York and the guy from Sharknado getting into a mini bike brawl. I really should not be shocked anymore. But I will have to try that sometime. So there you go. For Well, uh, people aren't. I don't believe that, but yeah, there are weird people. Yeah, I'm still not over the butt piercing, but I'm not gonna look it up on my computer because I already had to look up the lyrics to WAP, and I'm pretty sure that my computer still has, needs penicillin. So I think I am sending you guys over to Baker. I know at around, I think at 10:30, he is going to be doing, I think, the brothers interview. Gosh, I have forgotten his name. John O'Keefe's brothers interview that he gave. And I'm going to get off of here and help Mr. Mo figure out which views in our state of the art 1971 house works for the air conditioning so he can get some work done. So I hope you guys have a lovely weekend. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you probably tomorrow. If I don't have Legal Shenanigans Theater, then I will just be doing a fun shenanigans stream of my own of something, and we will figure it out there. T. Shaw, yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be he doesn't realize the shoulder divots he's gonna get. He really doesn't get it, and then when you know what? What do you bet that Steve-O makes a more comfortable bra than any bra that has ever been created by a woman? I'd buy the Steve-O bra if he could feel my pain, let's be honest. Have a great day, guys, and I will see you a little bit later. Have fun, be safe, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and have a great weekend. Bye, guys.